Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2024 eLeague of Ireland tournament here on the FAI TV channel. Big event. A lot of games you got to go through. It's why I'm sitting here with the man, the myth, and the previous winner, Mr. Example. Eric, how are you doing today?
All good so far. I've actually played my eLeague of Ireland game. I had to get it in early so I could get my face on here, make sure all the rest of the games get on well. I played against Derry, against the Candy Whites, the Candy Stripes, and I won 5-2. So eLeague of Ireland has kicked off. So, and I'm delighted to be the one to get to do that. Obviously off stream, but I needed to get on here with you.
No, fantastic. And of course, I appreciate you very much joining us today. It's always good to have a great personality behind all the games. You know, on the content side of it, you're definitely more of the statistics and all the more difficult sides of gameplay. Before we go into that, though, let's take a quick look at what we have over the next couple of weeks. So, eLeague of Ireland tournament powered by Virgin Media. We have 20 clubs battling it out for a grand final in the Camden in Dublin on April 18th. Eric, if you're an EAFC player in Ireland right now, this is the final you want to be at.
Yeah, 100%. Like there was a few people that had went for Premier League, the likes of JP Slater, who's in my group. Obviously, it didn't go too well from there, but he's able to play in this tournament, and he's not only delighted, but the winner of the whole tournament does get the Champions League spot, which is new to the format that we have within esports. Last year when I won it, I got play-ins, but not only do you get play-ins this year for the World Cup, you also are guaranteed the Champions League spot if you are the lucky winner of eLeague of Ireland. So it's amazing to see it back, and it's great to have you here with us on desk.
I mean, listen, it's better have me on desk than in the event. I played it myself last year, Eric. It didn't go too well. Chance my arm, but listen, it's for the pros at the end of the day. And speaking of Eric, I'm sure you're well familiar with a lot of formats, but for the people at home, you want to explain to them what the format of this event is going to be?
Yeah, so we have the group stage. It's 4 groups of 5 teams. Okay, so pretty much we have all Division 1 teams and all Electricity League teams playing in this event, and it's running over 5 weeks. And the game days are Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 7:30 and 8 o'clock. every week with a little break in between for Paddy's week. But other than that, it's a 5-week build up until the grand finals, which are taking place in the Camden in Dublin.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Right, no more delays. Let's talk quickly about our fixture here. We have Connor Dooley against Owen Mulligan here. Cove Ramblers versus Drogheda coming up in just a couple of minutes. Eric, what's your prediction for this game and how do you see it going?
So I've played against both of them, obviously, a fair amount of times. Dooley is a bit of a dark horse. He's not a bad player at all. I was surprised when I played him, but he really does. He knows his stuff. He knows his patterns of attacking, his defense. I mean, defending is very difficult in SC24, but he does
Yeah.
it to his best ability. And I think Owen could be in for a little bit of a shock here, but Owen is our top seed coming into this whole event. In my opinion, he is went and just won the EFAI Cup only a couple weeks back, which is another great event powered by Virgin Media. So I would imagine we're going to see him take on the win here. But Dooley is not somebody to stick your nose up at. He is a decent player.
Okay, we could have the underdog story. Well, listen, let's kick off the action right now. We have Connor Dooley against Owen Mulligan. Let's switch over and let's get this game underway. Should be a good one, Eric. I mean, look, going back to the statistics here, Owen Mulligan, a player as well, Eric, that you are very, very familiar with. Let's talk about last year, that grand final. That was an event I was commentating over myself. Absolutely unbelievable. Went to golden goal. Was it twice, I believe, Eric? Do you want to talk about that? Incredible.
Yeah, so we had 90 minutes of 0-0, which was surreal. And I'm pretty sure that after the 0-0 in the 50th minute or so, I was lucky enough to get a pretty strange header on goal. But I did green time it. And it just went, yeah, I just stood up and I nearly flipped the whole PlayStation 5 over by mistake. I got wrapped around the wires, but it was a great time.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe the ending. We commentating for 2 games in 90 minutes and then having that moment for that header was absolutely exceptional. But listen, that was last year's event. This is this year's event, 2024 eLeague of Ireland. We see Finn Azaz there on the wing there, Eric. What's your opinion on having him in the starting 11?
So the new thing about the restrictions this year within the squad, we are using Ultimate Team, which last year we used the 95 rated mode, which meant using your team that you're representing in eLeague of Ireland. But this year, we're bringing it over to Ultimate Team to give whoever completes the E-Champions League spot, to give them the best opportunity possible, because this is the mode they will be playing on in that event.
Yeah, so definitely a very strategic squad needed to come into this event. With that being said, Eric, I got to ask you, who were your picks for the Irish players?
So yeah, just a little bit more of a preface on that as well. So you have to have 2 Irish players in your starting 11 for sure. And you have to have 2 players for the League of Ireland. So they could have either played in League of Ireland.
Ooh,
there's a goal.
An early one. Early. Cove Ramblers strike the lead. Connor Dooley. Eric, sorry, go back to the conversation there. Talking about players connected with Ireland.
Yeah, so you have to have 2 players that are Irish, and you have to have 2 players that are playing in the League of Ireland or have played in the League of Ireland. So most people's picks are Bobby Charlton, who played with Waterford many moons ago, and George Best, who played with Cork Celtic many moons ago as well.
Wow.
And other than that, for the Irish players, I myself am using Roy Keane, and I'm also using Katie McKay, but a lot of people aren't using Katie McKay. They're actually using Finn Azaz instead.
Yeah, Finn Azaz, interesting choice, all right. Few players I'm used to definitely having it in my Ultimate Team squad. I love having the kind of Irish little twist on it, but it's great getting to see them here in a competitive standard.
Yeah, and even in my game just gone, which I won 5-2 against Derry only about an hour ago, I brought on Robbie Keane and he scored to make it 5-2. And I never thought I'd be able to say that I got Robbie Keane to get a goal in a competitive FIFA game.
There you go. Anything can happen here. But going off the gameplay at the start here, I mean, Cove Ramblers getting the lead early here. You talked about Connor Dooley being that figure that could come through and be a bit of an underdog here, and had a great start so far.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed. But again, Owen is very relentless. He will keep coming and waves after waves. He's looking for just to surgically remove his opponent's defense at all times. He'll get the ball into the middle of the pitch and have his opponent's defense pinned back and just look for that killer driven pass every single time. He's really, really good at it. He's really improved this year, I must say. Yeah,
I hear a lot of talks about Owen's improvement, but even last year, I was heavily impressed by just his defensive standard. I feel like his tracking of the runs and cutting out passing lanes is absolutely next to none.
Yeah, it really is. This year is way harder to defend, but he still holds that very decent standard of defense to his game. but his attack has just came on leaps and bounds. He really has so many different ways that he can, get forward and score. And I found it very difficult in practice games against him. And we also had to compete against each other only about a month ago to see who would be playing for Ireland in the Euros, which is coming up in March. And he did get the better of me. So, Owen, congratulations to him. He will be competing for Ireland. And it'll be my first year not competing with Ireland for 5+ years.
Wow, yeah, I've seen. I mean, obviously, we've seen you around, Eric. You're a staple in the Irish community for the esports standard of EAFC here. But I mean, look, this could be an event for you. Are you confident going into this, Eric? I got to say, obviously, you're commentating today, but you're still a player. How do you feel about this event?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I love the format. I love the use of Irish players. We have our own unique system going on, and I think it's very necessary if you want an eLeague or any eLeague to do well. You need to put your own spin on it. But here we have Cormac Dooley, or not Cormac Dooley, that's Dillstiff from MLS, another Irishman.
Another throwback.
Player. Yeah, great player as well. But we have Dooley there with a nice shot on target. I'm going to do that again, I have a feeling, but apologies.
Now, listen, another great name, of course, to drop here. But yeah, once again, just really good attacking gameplay from Connor Dooley. He's able to break down on it in ways we haven't really seen here. That Mbappe card, I mean, he's going to do it every day, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you see, the thing is, there's actually 2 legs to this game. If you are in, that is a free out, it should be, correct? At least. So it's 2 legs. So there is a competitive mode, which allows for 9.5 games. But unfortunately, Connor Dooley doesn't have it. So to kind of reflect on that, they're going to be doing 6.5s, but 2 legs, just to make sure that, they don't want to give less time. But unfortunately, it just means more time for Dooley to hold on to this lead or even grow it further, because at the moment, he's really on top.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well. So we're looking at 2 legs here for this game, just to equal out the scores. And I mean, I think you'll agree, Eric, in a lot of these standards of games, in all events, the one game sometimes isn't enough. So I think maximizing the time you can get is definitely an important feat.
Yeah, I think in the EFAI Cup final, we did have we had 9 minutes a half, but we played 2 legs of it, which equates to about 40 minutes of FIFA or FC, should I say. So yeah. I think we all came to an understanding that is just too long for someone to continuously focus on, because unlike, let's say, Call of Duty, where you have breaks between rounds, there's nothing really.
It's constant.
Yeah, it's too constant. And here we go, Owen Mulligan. Unfortunately, just offside, but that is probably his first real chance of the game. I'm very, very sure it won't be his last.
No, definitely not there. Caught the defense off guard, trying to get the ball out. And you can even see his pressure with the forward line here. He's looking to get a goal in. And I think with the format of this event, I know that this game will be 2 legs, but, some of the other players who do have those competitive servers, they're looking at a 1-game feat. So 1 goal can be the difference. And Eric, you know it yourself from last year. It's every goal counts.
Yeah, it really is. Owen was unlucky there. A nice ball into Haaland's feet, but just couldn't find any space to get a shot off. But yeah, going back to last year, it was very tough. We played 6 minutes per half, with 2 legs last year. And my semi-final was 1 goal in it. My final was golden goal. So yeah, every single goal counts. It doesn't matter how you get them.
Last year as well, Eric, just going back to the style you played. I know you love an old back post cross, Eric. How are you finding that this year?
I didn't have the players to do it, but I got a nice player on my team there that does it nicely for me. More so using it this year to divert and make people more afraid of it than use it. That is my current kind of thing. Is I can still play ball on the ground, don't get me wrong, but I always got to make sure people are very afraid of what I can do from the back post.
100%. You got to be unpredictable here. And speaking of unpredictable, we talked about Owen Mulligan being the stronger force here. Connor Dooley leading 1-0 at halftime. Going off what we've seen so far, Eric, what does Owen need to do? I feel like his pressure's good, but just doesn't seem to he's not getting possession of the ball enough.
No, we just seen him take off Maldini at halftime for Patrick Vieira, which is a technical kind of substitution there. Maldini is a very good defender and he's quite fast, but he doesn't have that physical presence that Vieira will obviously bring to his game. So I'd imagine to deal with Haaland, he's brought on Vieira on the same side as well. And that's his current idea. But for going forward, I think he just needs to get into his rhythm, because once he does, he's very, very hard to beat. But at the moment, he's just finding it difficult. It's the first game of the tournament. I found it the exact same way. I nearly went 2-1 down to a penalty in the 60th minute of my game. And I saved it, luckily, and then went on to go 4 goals up. But it was a scary moment because if I had conceded that goal, I don't know what way it would have went.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it's a really good example, Eric, because I feel this year of all years of EAFC, it's a very momentum-based game. You know what I mean? I feel like when you get the ball and you have possession of it and you're moving forward, it definitely wavers a bit towards you. And like you said there, you kind of changed it by saving that penalty and you brought it back into your hands. So I think that's what we're seeing very much here today by Connor Dooley from the start of the game.
Yeah, I actually fully agree with you. This year, it's very hard to make a game disappear. Oh, a lovely finish. We have Connor Dooley 2-0 up to the EFAI Cup champion in Owen Mulligan. Some lovely footwork from Mbappe and slots it into the right-hand corner. Easy enough.
That is absolutely phenomenal. What a finish, and the composure as well. The little step over in the box. Yeah. Very, very hard to track, Eric. I'm sure you use step overs all the time, but Dooley did it there too at such a professional level against, as you said, the EFAI Cup champ.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. We have plenty of talent in Ireland. It's just a matter of giving them the platform to showcase what they're about. And right now we're seeing a bit of that. But here we go. We have Owen Mulligan coming through. George Best looks for the shot. It's lovely block. And Azaz gets it clear to Vieira. That's another chance gone begging.
That's incredible. Green time as well. Defender comes in clutch just at the last second. Best chance we've seen from Owen this game. We know what he can do going forward, but he needs to have more of that for the last few minutes of this game.
Yeah, the next goal if there is going to be another goal in this 90-minute fixture that we have going on before they go into the second leg, of course, it's going to be a huge, huge goal because 3-0 and 2-1 are completely worlds apart. And I'd imagine Owen is trying to wake himself up now, try and get into this game. I can see him. He's playing a lot faster into Mbappe. Bobby Charlton on the ball. He might even win it back. He does. And it's a lovely challenge once again by Finn Azaz.
Finn Azaz clutching up here. Things you love to see. But George Best here on the edge of the box goes for the skill in. Frimpong is there. McCabe clear out. Very, very good defensive structure as well by Dooley. We're talking about his forward line, but defensively he looks good. But Haaland's through here again. Just as they say about his defense, his attack is also vicious. Haaland on the ball. Mbappe with the shot. It's open. And it's going to be 3-0 to Cove Ramblers. Connor Dooley making a statement in game one. Eric, this is incredible.
3-0 to the underdog. I did mention it before the game, and it's coming up at the moment. Now, there is another 90 minutes to go, and I fully believe that Owen has the capabilities of bringing this back. But 3-0 is an ecstatic result so far. Like, to get 3 goals up against anybody this year is very difficult, but to do it against the current champ within the EFAI, it's tough to do. But here we go. Mbappe, lovely save from Alisson. Some keeper movement involved there as well. But once again, Dooley comes out. Now, Dooley has to do one thing for me. If he wants to win this game, he needs to slow it down. Because if you keep up in the tempo, Owen will go with you. And it's not something you want.
Yeah, definitely something even I've learned playing, your standard weekend league is once you have goals up, you got to start controlling the game. That's nearly as important as scoring goals. Like we talked about momentum earlier, keeping the ball, keeping your players in position here. And, the last person you want to get back into the game or give a chance to get back is Owen Mulligan.
Yeah, it's Haaland going forward once again. Owen really trying something to break him down. He does find George Best. Passes it off to Mbappe, and it is a goal back for Drogheda. And maybe this is where the tides turn.
I mean, we know Owen can score, and he's proven it there after, I think, his third or fourth major opportunity. Mbappe finds the back of the net, makes it 3-1 here. And I know there's 15 minutes left, Eric, but it's still game on.
It really is, yeah. But as we just said, momentum is a huge factor in this game. Just in your own mentality, I guess. But I don't think it's phasing Dooley right now because he did have a nice chance there. Some nice step overs once again from Mbappe. But Owen Mulligan never took the bait and defended it very well.
Really, really good defending here. Yet again, Haaland moving forward, has an option out wide in Davies, has men in the middle. Going to go out wide, tries to get the ball roll, gets a bit lucky against Azaz. Charlton on the edge. Boys, Jude Bellingham goes back to Mbappe, still looking for an option in the middle. Defended really, really well by Dooley here. Owen knocking at the door, but will anyone answer this pressure? I can't take it, Eric.
I know. This is what I was talking about with Owen. He just waits until he sees a little bit of movement in your defense, and then it opens up like it has. A great tackle from Virgil van Dijk to save Cove Ramblers from a 1-goal deficit rather than 2.
Wow. Was that a red time shot as well? Did I imagine that? I think it was a red time.
I didn't see, and I didn't want to out him either.
I gotta say it. I think it was a red time. Frimpong is Mbappe outside. He's off. Wow. Benazar's nearly kept him on there. Oh, I mean, I gotta feel a bit unlucky for Owen there, but wow, this game is back and forth still in the second half.
Yeah, it really is. But I would imagine Owen would feel much better getting a second goal here to make it 3-2 going into the second leg. I know it's still very possible for him to get the other 2 goals in the second leg, but that episode of momentum, that it'll be quite deflating even to lose 3-1. To get 1 goal back, I would imagine Owen will still feel fairly deflated. But if you can pull another back in the last 4 minutes here, I think it's going to be crucial to his second leg performance.
Yeah, and you know, with these 2 kind of game fixtures here, we're not always going to see the same styles go into the second leg. You know, we could see a team, you know, packing up shop a bit, making them a bit more defensive because they know they have that lead. So I think getting the score as close as possible is definitely Owen's goal here, but it's only a minute or so to do so. Messi on the ball, out wide, has options in the middle, but it's all about controlling the play. Gets a bit confident with the ball, lose it to Mbappe. Could have a last minute chance here for Owen. Eric, this is huge.
Will only be 1 minute left, really. We have Mbappe on the ball, staring at Virgil van Dijk. He might actually get a chance here. Unfortunately, for some reason, Cristiano Ronaldo decides to have a cup of tea past the defense.
He does indeed. And that's going to be 3-1 to Cove Ramblers. Connor Dooley representing Cove very, very well. But we're going to have the next game coming up shortly again. Once again, though, Eric, we talk about Connor Dooley and you know, him being the underdog there. What an unbelievable performance to kick off game number 1.
Yeah, I would imagine Dooley and Owen have probably never played against each other. So this is the first time that they're really getting to experience each other's gameplay. That could be a huge factor in this as well. So going into the next leg, I would imagine Owen has a very much better understanding of how Dooley attacks, what he's like going forward. And that could be a huge indication of where this game is going to go. But a 2-goal lead going into the second leg is very impressive. And right now, I'm very glad neither of these people are in my group.
Yeah, I mean, both of them look phenomenal. As a competitive player, Eric, when you're going into a game like this and you're 2 goals down, how do you feel your tactics change? Do you keep doing what you're doing? Do you keep the same output? Do you go more attacking? What's your mindset going into this game if you're Owen Mulligan?
There's a lot of time left. You can't let it really get you down too much. If you get to like the 75th, 80th minute and you're 2 down, then you start becoming a little bit more direct and reaching for things that hopefully would be more hopeful rather than, you know, based around a good opportunity. But for the first 60 minutes, 75 minutes, just chill out. Because if you get 1 goal back, then it's only a tiny bit left to get really into it, you know. So in my opinion, he just needs to chill out, make his attacks like he has been, but just have that little bit of killer instinct and maybe don't bring everybody forward, because I think that has been one of his downfalls in the first game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. I got to say it to you, though, I know we came in with the prediction of Owen, you know, being the one on paper to win this. Do you see him coming back into the game, or do you think that Connor might just seal it out?
Well, it really depends on what Connor Dooley's nerves are like. Nerves are a huge aspect of anything competitive. And coming into the second leg in this, I'm almost sure that he'll be feeling some sort of pressure. So
Yeah.
if he can deal with it very well, then, you know, there's plenty to be said, especially going later into this tournament, because if you can keep your nerves against the EFAI champion, I'm pretty sure you could do it against nearly everybody.
Yeah, 100%. It's a really good experience for them. Game 1. But listen, we're talking, Eric. We can talk all day, but the guy's got to play the game. Let's kick it off. The second leg of our fixture between Drogheda and Cove Ramblers begins now. Here we go. Big game. Do we see Owen Mulligan coming through this adversity and getting back into the game? Or do we see Connor Dooley stealing it out? We're going to find out right now. Fast play straight away. And yeah, it seems Owen Mulligan is really up in the ante here with the speed of his passes. Could see an early goal, Eric, but this is going to be an interesting fixture.
Yeah, it really is. I just hope he doesn't get too excited over the fact that he wants to get goals. But here we go. Haaland passed it across the best. Perhaps one extra pass too much. I'm sure that's exactly what Owen is saying it to himself right now. But he has survived the early onslaught, has Connor Dooley. And maybe he might even get one for himself. We have George Best making a darting run all by himself. But it was lovely interception from Roy Keane.
Very well played there. Owen dribbling, going up the field, and just gets taken out by Owen. Has Mbappe here on side step over. Haaland's in the middle and he finds him. Haaland! Great block again. Wow, unreal performance in defense here. Bilazaz clear at the ball and right back, and you can clearly see Eric Owen has one thing on his mind. He is going attack.
Yeah, I was fearful that he would. I'm afraid that that actually might be his downfall rather than because it's a very risky approach to something that is so early on, if that makes sense. This game has so much more to play. He doesn't need to do this exactly right now, but he has opted for it. It's a risky play because he might find himself another goal down because we do have Katie McKay back to Haaland. A lovely Brock from Pokemon. Katie McKay.
Very, very good play there. Haaland on the right foot as well. You know, that's not going to be the foot you want, but, you know, it's crazy. Anytime we see Connor Dooley going forward, Eric, he seems to be making all the right passes. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he really does. Again, I'm not seeing any signs of nerves thus far. Obviously, plenty more to be played, but yeah, it's a very, very impressive performance so far. But we have Haaland in the box, and it's a goal to make Connor Dooley 4-1 to the good against Owen Mulligan from Drogheda United. That is huge.
Oh, wow. Gets the header with Erling Haaland to already kick off his second leg to the good here. I mean, Haaland in the box, Eric. Is there a lot you can do with him jumping in the air? It's a very hard player to mark.
Yeah, to be honest, I love seeing it. I love seeing somebody rise in the air like that and knock it down into the net. It just makes me feel some sort of way. But we do have Owen Mulligan not giving up. Mbappe into the box, and it's wide. And that is a very deflating moment for Owen Mulligan and Drogheda United, because right there, that is the chance he needed. He is gone more attacking, as we said, Owen Mulligan, and it hasn't paid off, obviously, with that corner from Haaland. But he now finds himself 3 goals down, and if he wants the full 3 points in this fixture, he's going to need 4 goals.
I can't believe he's missed that. I mean, Mbappe right in front of the goal. How does he miss? It's just, yeah. You got to feel a bit, you know, he must feel a bit hard done by there, you know. I think you'd bet your house that's going to be in most days with Mbappe. Very, very unlucky here by Owen Mulligan, but he presses forward yet again. Has to go through the middle. Frimpong's there. Connor Dooley's pressure. Is it too much? Mateus out wide. Has options in the middle. Can he find them? Bit of skill and trickery. Makes it 2. And Eric, it's just incredible. Connor Dooley, one to watch for this event. Absolutely nuts.
That is absolutely bonkers. Once again, I said I like seeing a man rise like a salmon and head it into the back of the goal. We're seeing it quite a lot in this fixture. We didn't see any crosses, nothing from Connor Dooley in the first leg. So he disguised it very well. He tried to prove himself as a player that doesn't know how to mix it up, but he's just went and scored 2 goals from a completely different fashion of style in play. Completely. So wow. That's amazing. Honestly, I'm a bit speechless because he could find himself another goal up right now. Mbappe! Stop. Oh my God, beautiful play.
Wow. And just like that, even the high through ball to Haaland, Eric, just so well timed, so composed. And he's finding space again. The man doesn't stop. Mbappe on the ball. Great tackle by Renard here, and Czech clears it out. I mean, talking about pressure, Owen's been at the height of it. He's felt pressure at the highest level. If anybody can get 1 or 2 back right now and potentially change the game, it's this man.
Yeah, that's the truth of it. And you don't have to be the case, but right now, I'm sure he is frantic to get a goal back. And at the moment, he's finding a lot of space with Pest. That's gorgeous footwork, and it's a badly needed goal for Owen Mulligan and Drogheda.
Oh, that's an absolute tutorial there in left stick dribbling. George Best turns the whole defense. He gets 1 back here. I mean, 1 more goal. It's still only 28 minutes in, Eric. It's why I don't want to call it off. I know there's a bit of a deficit right now in scorelines, but I've finished so many games in this EAFC, Eric, like 7, 8 goals in, so it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, it really can. But here we go once again. Dooley on the ball. Reynard defended very well. Just for our viewers, making sure that these are all up to date, it is 5-2 the Cove Ramblers versus Drogheda United, and it looks pretty convincing so far. I'm not going to lie to you. The finalist last year in eLeague of Ireland, Owen Mulligan, is losing 3 goals to the good against newcomer Connor Dooley.
Connor Dooley making a statement here, but here's Owen. He knows what he's doing. Bellingham on the ball. Mbappe trying to turn Van Dijk. Makes a bit of space. Just needs a man in the middle. He's trying to find Haaland. He finds him eventually. Trying to get that. It's defended so well by Connor Dooley. He's holding a wall there. Green time, but McCabe is there to stop it. And listen, we talk about Connor Dooley's attack, but just his defense, he's so composed. He's not diving one man out there, Eric.
No, he's defended very well, but it's very hard to defend against Owen Mulligan's corners. I've been there, and he's done it very well once again. This is a plaudable performance defensively for sure, because Owen has turned it on this leg, but he still finds himself 3 goals down, and it doesn't look like Connor Dooley is going to stop. He wants more.
It's crazy, and you know, it's even, I know you mentioned it earlier, but it's so nice to see the Irish players in here. Like it's nice to see, you know, McCabe and Azaz putting in a shift there in the back as well and getting some tackles in. So, you know, it's a bit of refreshing gameplay, Eric. I like to see this.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, we're nearly at halftime, but we're going to have one half left in this fixture. Coming up, I would imagine a goal here could be crucial for the tie. Mbappe finds a lot of space, plenty of dribbling, but unfortunately the wrong selection for corner was given by Owen Mulligan. If he puts it in the other corner.
Alisson, just fantastic save. Best tries to get the step over there. It's not going to be enough. Vieira cleans the ball out. And I mean, to be fair, Alisson's made a couple of good saves.
Oh my God, here's a chance indeed. Owen Mulligan looking for somebody. Is he going to go by himself? He is. But it's falls to Mbappe. It's blocked once again. And Connor Dooley survives. Has he survived?
Has he? Oh, Van Dijk again. It's relentless, Eric. It's absolutely relentless. That's going to be the end of the first half. I don't know what to say here. It's just.
Well, I think it's fair to say he's finally seen some nerves come from Connor Dooley toward the end of that half. He was probably very desperate to not concede right there. And when that happens, adrenaline rushes and then you just make some bad decisions. But he did get a little bit lucky, I can't lie.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, I've been there in the trenches when there's 4 players looking at you in defense and you're trying to get the ball out. It's not a good look. You need to have a good head on your shoulders. And you know, Connor's done well to keep the scoreline as it is so far. But he still has a wave of attacks to come here in the second half from Owen Mulligan.
Yeah, well, both teams really, because as we see here, Connor Dooley working the ball into the box the best, looking for maybe a cutback, but can't find a player of his own team. And it now breaks for Owen Mulligan, who's just want to gung-ho, run. George Best over the top. Maybe Haaland's in the box waiting for a fall correctly for him.
Oh, it just seems to be that one step that he makes a mistake in these last few attacks here. He's not really turning and composing himself, but he does it here and in his eyes. Wow, we've seen him. He's my man of the match for sure in this game. He's made a couple of great tackles. Mbappe! Wide again! Oh, it's a
save.
Wow! I gotta feel bad for Owen, though. He's had a couple of chances that have been so close, Eric.
Yeah, it's been crazy, honestly. But I must say, Owen is very, very good from corners. He just picks the right pass nearly every single time. But again, he's got his shape back, has Connor Dooley, from the corner. So it's going to be hard to break him down. We even have Phil's ass going forward here, looking for a ball inside. Bobby Charlton, can he find anybody? George Best heads outside the box once again, looking to surgically remove the defense, and he does. And he finds the back of the net. Now, Owen Mulligan, what kind of stones are you made of? Because you're 2 goals down with about 35 minutes left to go. And it's really game on, Gareth.
Oh, I tell you, Eric, I don't have the heating on, but it's hot in here, baby. It's going wild. Wow, it's only 2 goals in. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, so the first leg had finished 3-1, if I'm not mistaken. So it is now. At one stage, it was 5-1. So that has been cut right down from 5-1 to 5-3.
Crazy.
So Drogheda find themselves 2 goals down. And I can't believe that shot went wide from Mbappe. But a goal has been scored. We're 2-2 in this game. Only 2 goals in it now over 2 legs. Let's see if he can get it all the way back to 5-5.
It is all to play for here. 30 in-game minutes left on the clock. Owen Mulligan on the ball here, representing Drogheda. And Connor Dooley trying to keep him out from scoring any more. A lot of momentum here moving towards Owen Mulligan from the second half. We're going to see if he can capitalize on it now. Have another successful movement forward. Davies out wide. It's Haaland in the middle. Finds Keane. High through ball to Haaland. We know he's in the air. Virgil van Dijk cuts it out again. We can see Owen trying a few different things here with the high through balls, but didn't work that time. It's nearly gets it. Vieira again. It's back and forth there, Eric. Both players looking for that one goal.
Yeah, it's a crazy showing so far, really. Because I'm surprised by Dooley's speed going forward is still very much there. I guess if you go that many goals up, you're going to think it's going to work for you again. But maybe you should have slowed it down. But once again, defended so well, Connor Dooley. Respect to him because he's done really well. Plenty of pressure, especially given it's the first game of the season. And, you know, he's done so well. 65 minutes gone. 25 minutes left for Owen Mulligan to get a point out of this game.
Yeah, he needs it. Oh, Haaland's onside. Protect ball.
Oh, my God.
That could be the goal to separate the momentum. Fantastic finish by Connor Dooley. Eric, is it enough?
I think it might be. We've just seen Owen Mulligan try and make a pause, but in FC, you only get 3 pauses per game, and he's already used all 3 of them. So he's going to have to play with what he has on the pitch, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but it's not what he wants.
Bellingham on the edge of the box here, finds Mbappe, who gets a goal, and it's getting back on Eric. This game is relentless. Oh my Lord. Owen's back in it, Eric. Here we go.
It comes back around too quick. Let me give me a minute. I need to take all this in. Oh, the ball's gone out of play from Connor Dooley. I'm hoping one of the Connor makes a substitution of some sort in a second because I need to screw my head back on.
It's been incredible. Haaland in the middle, Frimpong putting pressure on. Ball comes to Mbappe. Bobby Charlton, lovely skill and trickery with the turn high through ball. Davies is in. Can he find a man in the middle? Oh, is that a penalty? Finn's has shoulders the man. Eric, that could have gone either way.
Finn's ass is really his heart on his sleeve in this game. He's done so well defensively for Connor Dooley. I just can't believe I'm watching Irish players in an official FC tournament. It's amazing, honestly. It's something I wished for years, and it's finally here. So Finn's ass, I can't wait to see him in more games, honestly.
Yeah, so good. I love to see it as well, man. Part of the Irish culture and the teams. You love to see Mateus on the ball. Mbappe, is this going to be it?
Wow.
That's it, top left. And that is the finish of all finishes. He celebrates in style and well worked, of course. Eric, fantastic finish again.
Yeah, it really was. Like he did the R1 dribble past the defense there on the outside, but to stick it in the far corner then, it's just really, really good. There's nothing else you can say about it. I would say Owen Mulligan has been unlucky. He has, of course, at times, but it's been an amazing showing from the newcomer, Connor Dooley.
Yeah, it really, really has. One thing to take away from this game is that Connor Dooley is one to watch for sure. Mbappe, there's no way he scores. Mbappe, can he find the gap? Bobby Charlton, oh, he puts it in. Eric, we're not going to get a time to rest. Get your inhaler out. We're going to need it. Oh, my Lord. 4-4 here, 8 minutes on the clock. And the ball is back to Connor Dooley.
Yeah, still 2 goals in it. I think, Connor Dooley, it's time to chill out. It's time to... you want to go for another goal? Really? No? Yeah, that's it. Keep it in the corner. Good man. Right, he's doing the smart thing. He is still 2 goals to the good with Cove Ramblers. So he did the smart thing and he's won himself a corner. There's 5 minutes left in this game. And if he puts this in the box, call me surprised.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got to hold possession. At a high competitive level, these players got to seal these victories. And yeah, we can see that now. He's just blocking the ball off. But Azaz gets it back. Ball gets blocked again. That block was actually vital to stop the movement forward here. But Owen still has it. Has Mbappe, Bellingham in the middle. Haaland, Mbappe has men out wide, has Haaland in the middle. He goes for the high through ball, but Vieira's going to be there. Clearance goes out. And here we go. Last attack potentially. Mbappe's in the middle. So is Haaland. Mbappe on the ball.
Mike, is he going for another?
To clear the win. Connor Dooley has him. He has Haaland in the middle. Oh, he takes him out. Good night, Irene.
Oh, my God.
Woo. Incredible.
Oh.
What a finish, Eric. Unbelievable by Connor Dooley.
That is cojones of steel. There's nothing else you can say there. To do that dribbling. And the keeper, he didn't even die. He went off the pitch. The keeper was off the whole pitch. Oh, I can't believe it. What a performance. That's laudable, honestly. Because
I can't believe what we've just seen. Just I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. I had my hand on my head for most of that game. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Jay, I don't know how good your maths is, Eric. What was that final scoreline?
I'm going to take a guess at 7-4, but it could have been 8-5. But there
Oh
was 3
wow.
goals in it in the end, so, like, that to be honest, that goal difference toward the end of the game, that Mbappe goal at the end of this group, that extra goal could be vital in terms of goal difference because it could run as head to head, of course, the format within the groups, but if there is 3 people or more in the same points, you can't really run it on head to head anymore, so it must go on goal difference. So to
Yeah.
be honest, going toward the end of the 6 weeks that we have of the group stage, that's an amazing result, not only for the 3 points, but for the extra goal toward the end.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm out of breath. That was just. Whew, I need a break, Eric. I need a break after that one. But listen, let's talk quickly about what we just witnessed. Owen Mulligan, you know, we talked about his presence in the Irish EAFC scene and what he could potentially do in this event. We talked about Connor Dooley coming in as kind of an underdog and a newcomer to this event, but just the clash of the titans there. What a performance by Connor Dooley. Unbelievable. Going off that performance, I mean, I know we've seen Ono look in a few chances, Eric. Do you have Connor Dooley in the ones to watch kind of area for the rest of this event? Is he on your radar?
Well, you kind of have to now, don't you? You have to go on and beating Drogheda, who were finalists last year in E-League of Ireland and also EFAI Cup champion only a month ago. So, if you're good enough to hang with the best, and not only that, but beat them and do it fairly convincingly. I'm not saying that Owen Mulligan deserved to fully lose, but he took his chances and he did it really, really well. I'm very impressed, I must say.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Right, before we kick off the next game, guys, we're going to have a quick 2-minute break and we're going to be back with more E-League of Ireland action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute. All right, so we are back for our next fixture here for the E-League of Ireland. We're going to have Caelan Byrne up against Ryan Duffy. Sligo Rovers versus Finn Harps. Eric, how do you see this game going?
It's going to be a great game. I've played against both of them many times. I like Keelan. He's a nice fella. I've known him for a few years now in the FC scene. Duffy the same. He did very well last year, and obviously didn't make it out the groups, but he did pretty well. It could be a very interesting game. Keelan has never participated, I guess, in an E-League of Ireland, which Duffy has, so that could be a telling point. But I think Keelan is actually a very good player, and so is Duffy. So it could be a very interesting game.
Listen, if it's anyway as exciting as the last one, Eric, I might collapse, lad. So I might need to ring the ambulance for me after this game if it's anyway as exciting. Okay, listen, we can talk all day, Eric. Let's just get straight into the game. We have our second fixture right now. It's Caelan Byrne versus Ryan Duffy, Sligo versus Finn Harps. Let's head over to the action.
Looking forward to this one, Gareth.
It should be a good game. I think the if the players seen the previous game, they'll definitely feel a bit of pressure after the performance of Conor Dooley for sure.
Yeah, I really think that it's gonna be a goal fest, really, because I know Keelan. He's very similar to Owen in his approach. He likes to sit around the box and then just look for the driven pass inside. Liquid football is all we ever see out of Keelan in the group chat. And then Duffy, he loves his R1 dribbling. You're going to see him do that a lot, especially down the wings. And then just look for the cutbacks, look for the games. If we see a ball in the air the whole game, I'll be very surprised.
We're going to have to wait and find out. McCabe here starts off the ball for Keelan as Sligo Rovers. See that Frimpong card very often as well in here, Eric. Is he one that you'd recommend for players to use?
Yeah, so I actually did have him in mind as well. He's a team of the year item, so it's well, we might actually have a chance here. Sligo going forward. R9 on the ball, looking for some space. He gets it, but Allison parries it out for a corner. Now, I am a fan of Frimpong, but at the moment I'm actually doing a little sneaky one. I'm putting Bellingham at right back, and he's doing wonders for me.
Ooh, yeah, very well rounded carry. Bobby Townsend, Haaland on the rebound, and it's 1-0 here. Incredible stuff. Caelan Byrne gets an early goal here for Sligo Rovers, and look, a bit lucky with the rebound, but a goal's a goal.
Yeah, they all count the same, Gary. You know me. I like the silliest of goals. That is just the best. Because one thing about scoring, it does obviously annoy your opponent or affect them in some sort of way. But when it's an awful goal, that's a goal. Dude scored. Roy Keane has scored. Snuck it underneath the goalkeeper. A snake in the grass. That shot was like.
Ooh, who's seen that one coming? Roy Keane down the wing, and he just passes it into the far corner, Eric. I don't think anybody's seen that one coming. That was incredible.
I'm so surprised. Why can't we just have a normal game? Lads, stop scoring for a minute. We want to have a chat, lads.
Lads, will you hold on? We're trying to talk about... there scores Allison again. It's so back and forth. Listen, Eric, I've commentated on a lot of events here, but these games are attack, attack, attack. They're not letting down at all.
No, see, especially with the restrictions that we have in place. So obviously we have, Roy Keane kicking about. We have the likes of Finnazaz, Paddy McCabe. It just means there is a weaker side to your defense or your midfield. So it doesn't allow for a defensive masterclass for the most part, Yeah. There has to be sacrifice in terms of ability somewhere on the pitch if we're using these types of cards that, wouldn't match the likes of a Team of the Year card. And that's just, you know what? It's added to the entertainment value in the whole thing.
Yeah, it really, really has. It's been an exceptional event so far, and we're only on game 2, Eric. We're literally only on game 2. And if you guys need any reason to watch the remaining fixtures here on the FAI TV channel, you've just seen it. You've just seen it. One card, though, Eric, I want to chat about, that we have seen here for Duffy is that Kiernan card I believe he has on the field, the Liverpool winger. Did she come across your mind at all, putting her in your starting 11?
She really didn't, I must say. She's just not somebody that I even really looked at. I thought Robbie Keane was my go-to. Robbie Keane's... I love him in real life as well, so getting to use him. I only use him off the bench. But unfortunately, if you can't afford the likes of Bobby Charlton, Robbie Keane or Kiernan would have been next in line, really. She's very fast and she has decent shooting as well, so it's not a terrible card. We're definitely going to see her again, put it that way. But for me, I just love Robbie Keane in real life, so I kind of had to go for it.
Yeah, listen, I respect that, Eric. I rate it a lot. Do like a Robbie Keane myself. Frimpong gets the ball out here. And we have another attack. Haaland here moving forward for Sligo. Defended well. Once again by Duffy. And 1-1 here, 25 minutes in. It seems like players are starting to settle a tiny bit, though.
Yeah, you're right. I was about to say the exact same thing. There is a lot of space here for George Best if he can find some passes into Haaland. Haaland with a lovely turn. It's gone by the post. And Haaland, I'm sure Keane will be screaming his name right now.
Wow, very lucky. Another missed chance there. Haaland just swivels it by the post. And now it's ball.
A few times within the first 2 games.
It has. Yeah, Mbappe and Haaland.
In friendlies, they don't miss a dime.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see some of these misses myself, but you know, on the day that's in it as well, and even seeing the red time from Owen Mulligan, I'm sure he's rarely hit a red time in his life. And to do it on a big stage, you know, it's just very, very unlucky. Well defended there again, going out by Duffy, and it's pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tough affair, a competitive game at the very least, because I just know their play styles quite well in terms of run down the line like you're seeing here. He's going to keep going. He's not going to stop. And he's just going to try and sneak it in once again. But this time it's actually out for a corner. He might be onto something there, Duffy, because it's not so, he did do it against me in a friendly, but I thought it was a once-off. But this must be an actual tactic of his. I thought he pressed the wrong button and it went in. But this is something that he's actually... This is his thing. I haven't seen it this year anyway. Like, he should copyright this, because those little passes into the far corner from the byline is just crazy.
Oh, it's incredible. I've never seen it as well. I mean, it's very interesting. Oh, the ball's here. Oh, Patelis puts it in the top right corner, and it's a fantastic finish. Wow, did not expect that. Ryan Duffy here goes 2-1 up. Eric, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, just the pass is short. Obviously, it's something that he's practiced, is that corner routine. There is quite a few corner routines this year that work, you know, probably 90% of the time. And that just seems to be one of them. And if you practice it enough, you can increase your odds of scoring even that tiny bit more.
Yeah, really, really well played there. Now it's back to Keelan to see if he can get back into the game here with Sligo Rovers. Ball moving forward. Best on the ball, trying to get options here in the middle. He's still looking for that space. And he keeps moving. Theo Hernandez back to Kieran on the left, who we see do very, very well. Like I said, our quick dribbler on the ball. And,
yeah,
you know, I think with using some of the Irish players, you got to prioritize the best stats they have. You know what, Roy Keane, obviously, he's got that defensive ability. So you see the Emmer centre back. And Kieran has the pace and dribbling.
Yeah, she really does. And the reason that I like McCabe, we're going to see a shot from distance from the payout spot. Lovely catch from Addison. As I was saying, the reason that I like to use McCabe myself, she has the silver play style for long throw, which nobody really sees coming at all. So you just lob Haaland in the box kind of jab. And then she also has long ball silver play style. So 2 things that are very utilizable. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but that is what I said.
It's a word now. It's a word now. Utilizable. Lock it in. Get that on countdown. Full points. All right, listen. First half over with here. 2-1 on the scoreline. It's pretty even Stevens, though. I don't think there's one standout moment or standout player here. Both players really having a back and forth.
Yeah, it's a game that I thought would be this way. Obviously, Keelan finds himself 2-1 down with Sligo Rovers against Finn Harps here. So we won't be too pleased. But again, they got 2 legs. This is only the first leg of 2. So there's nothing to be worried about thus far. I'm sure he wants to keep it tight. Keelan in defense still, so he won't be going gung-ho just yet. And we probably won't see that for quite some time as well. But I think if Duffy can just continue his performance as it is, he's not doing anything really wrong. He's not leaving gaps in defense, and he's not bringing too many people forward in risk of a counter. So I think he's probably in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, he's looking very, very good on the ball. One player, again, I want to go back to. I know I chatted about Kieran in there, but that Bobby Charlton card features in every team. What makes that card so special?
So he is obviously an icon in game. It's great for not only for the ability that he has, he's 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot with the power shot playstyle plus. He fits within credentials. So he played for Waterford, so he goes in within restrictions as a League of Ireland player. So otherwise we wouldn't be seeing him half as much. But because he takes up one of them spots, it means we don't have to use, let's say, a bronze or a silver item.
Yeah. So it makes sense why we see him in nearly every single team. Really good on the ball. Best out wide. Fights Patelis, who found the goal earlier on. Waiting to see if there's an option in the middle. Really good dribbling here by Duffy. And he still has the ball. Best on it. Has the edge of the box here. Roy Keane. And he has to go wide. And, you know, a bit of recycling here is definitely good for these players to settle into the game. We've seen a lot of attack, even in the first few minutes.
Yeah, I think it's starting to settle down a little bit now. And, you know, they're just going to make sure whatever chance they do create is the best chance possible for them. You know, we're not going to see anything too risky or too many people forward at a given time, because it is still a very, very tight game.
Yeah, it really is. And here we see Keelan Byrne for Sligo Rovers. Pushes forward. Best on the ball. Step over. Has a man in the middle. Will he find a Ronaldo? Finds the back of the net. And it's all tied up here in our game number 2 of the eLeague of Ireland. Fantastic finish there by Keelan.
Yeah, he did really well, because if it was me, I would have shot way too early and probably not scored. So he did the complete right thing there. It wouldn't have been my choice to, you know, take that extra touch, get it out of his feet. But he was spot on. That's exactly what he should have done. He proved me wrong. And now he finds himself 2-2, and it's completely game on.
Game on here yet again. Best on the ball. Finds Haaland. Ruben Diaz just cuts out that play. And as Roy Keane would say, Eric, that's his job.
Yeah, it really is. Now we have someone on the overlap. Hey, you get it? Anyway, so here we go. We have Roy Keane back on the ball once again, looking for something. Sligo really trying to get on top of this game now, just after scoring a goal. R9 on the ball, cutting back, looking for a pass inside. Not anything really on there, but he does now with George Best. Lovely elastico into the far corner. It's a lovely finish from Sligo Rovers, Keelan Byrne. And he'll be happy to get himself 3-2 up within the first 18 minutes of the second half of the first leg.
Have a bite of that dribbling. Michelin star level, Eric. That is absolutely incredible stuff here by Keelan Byrne to get the lead yet again. Really, really good dribbling by both opponents here, has to be said. They're very, very good with the left stick.
Yeah, and as you can see, the stats on screen just now, it looks like it is Keelan's game to lose thus far. You know, he's had the lion's share of chances and possession as well. So Duffy's going to have to change something here. He was looking in a decent position going into the first half, but I guess Keelan must have just really turned it on, or one of them just, you know, got a little bit unfocused just after the halftime break. Obviously, we still have 25 minutes left in this leg, and then another leg on top of that. So there's plenty more still to be said. I'd imagine Duffy will have to change something up if he wants to compete again.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it earlier even, and we've seen it, sure, with the 2 fixtures is, you know, the mental game is a big thing here, Eric. Like keeping your head on your shoulders here for two matches of this, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it really does. It's quite a long time in succession to focus. But here we go. We got Bobby Charlton coming forward. He's took the extra touch and it's paid off. We have Finn Harpstraw 3-3 with Sligo Rovers now. And Duffy proving himself as a very worthy competitor because he's not out of this game.
No, fantastic play there on the ball. Hits the back of the net. And yet again, we're all tied up here. It's a game of cat and mouse, Eric. It's so back and forth.
Yeah, I just want someone to make a pause personally. But they're doing well. You know, nobody wants to see a pause when 2 teams are going at it like they are right now. And once again, we have Sligo Rovers on the attack. George Best just looking for a little option inside, which he finds in Roy Keane. There's nothing else really on, but he does find Bobby Charlton inside, and the driven pass doesn't work. But it's a very, very strategic performance from both so far, isn't it?
Yeah, it really, really is. Even the change of pace from the start of the game to the mid-game where both of them are slowing down. But speaking of, there's no slowing down here. Mbappe gets a bit lucky. The ball falls back to him. Has a man on the edge in Roy Keane. Will he do it again? He goes out wide to Kieran, who we spoke about earlier. Look at that dribbling. Puts the man on the floor. Kieran on the ball. Hernandez could see another man of the match performance after Finn Azaz did bits in the last game. That Kieran card's looking good.
Yeah, so far, very, very tight turns. I'm surprised. I haven't really seen much of her in use. When I played against Duffy myself in friendlies, I didn't see her. So he must have made a decision today, probably, if he made that call. Because I think a lot of people were just kind of opting for the likes of Zaz or going forward would have been Keane. But It would have been an interesting one. I actually must look into her now as a substitution because she doesn't seem too bad.
No, she's good. That's what I was saying. I was like, did you come across your counter at all in your office there, Eric, when you were thinking about all this? But yeah, she's a great card. I have her as a super sub myself in my team. Really good at dribbling. Shooting stats not bad as well. And obviously has the pace to match. But Mbappe has the ball on the edge of the box here. And he's looking for that goal. Roy Keane faces another Roy Keane, but he finds space past him. Goes out wide. Ruben Diaz there again. And you know, I haven't seen many Ruben Diaz's myself, but he's looking very, very good in the squad for here for Sligo Rovers.
Yeah, he is amazing. He was just very difficult to get on loan was the issue there. Otherwise, I think everybody would get him. I personally don't have him, but my centre backs for this competition are Ferdinand and Rodri. Would you believe it?
Oh
Yeah,
wow, Rodri,
yeah.
that's an interesting choice.
Oh, he's amazing. His team of the year item is next to none, really. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk and Diaz probably the only two that could hold a candle to him. Um,
Yeah.
but you know, you got to work with what you're given, and that's what I have. So you know, I'm trying to utilize him as best I can.
Okay, Rodri, I'll be looking forward to seeing a centre back performance from him when your game goes on. Haaland getting lobbed off the ball here, and you don't see that very often. Eric, was he like 6'4", 6'5", built like Thor? I mean,
Yeah,
takes a lot of strength.
it really does. And like last game, we seen Finn Azaz do very well against Thailand as well. So
Big Finn.
yeah, you know, he's actually 6'1" as well. He's a big enough fella. I didn't realize.
Big Finn Azaz, I'm telling you, one to watch here. But Haaland has the ball again. Will he turn? De Bruyne! Oh, it's off the post and in the 90th minute. That is going to be the goal to separate them going into the second leg. Or, dare I say, Eric, there might be one more moment. No. Oh, Ruben Diaz. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Wow. Amazingly entertaining game here. Keelan, representing Sligo Rovers, leads the fixture 4-3 against Duffy, heading in to game number 2. What an exceptional game 1 there. Second leg coming up very, very shortly. What a game. I mean, at the very beginning, Eric, we said this is back and forth. Both players look similarly matched here, and it literally took them to the 90th minute to separate it.
Yeah, it was a very good showing from both teams there, Finn Harps and Sligo Rovers. And obviously, we have one more leg to go, so don't count either of them out. We've seen both of them fight back into it, and you know, really make the most of their chances. To be honest, I really would have enjoyed that last goal there if it was scored in the 90+ minute to make it 4-4. But again, how many goals have we gotten thus far over the course of the two games that we've watched? It's been hilarious. I think it's a total so far of 19 goals over 3 games of FIFA, which is honestly, it's a great showing and it's something that I'm delighted about.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I mean, I know I mentioned it in I think it was the first fixture saying that, I've seen games go 7, 8 goals easy in my time, but like you can see that even in the competitive level, it happens. It's just absolutely goals galore. And I mean, it's something we're going to see throughout this second leg as well here. Incredible game. We're going to wait for that second fixture to come through. But yeah, I mean, Eric, when it comes to this next game, how do we see it going? Do we see Kalen coming out and fixing the game out, or do we see a Duffy coming back into this?
But I think for both of these people, goal difference is very important in these groups when there's 5 people. So I think personally, these will still be going for plenty of goals. You know, they will be for sure not happy with the 1 goal up that they have, which it is like a Rovers that are 1 up, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he will want more because I think toward the end of the group, it's very important that that goal difference is something that can really clarify who is supposed to be in whatever position. So he would want to go a few more goals up. I would imagine Duffy, Kieran probably has to do a bit more for him now, but we've seen him get back into games before, so I don't know why he couldn't do it again.
Yeah, it's such an entertaining fixture that was as well. So back and forth. We had that moment. I'm gonna go back to it just at the very, very end. We had Bobby Charlton, Orwin dribbling through. There was an offset run on the right hand side, and I mean, like it just like such a good example there at the end of the game
Yeah.
of how any moment can change it, and both of these players are well equipped and have the tools to be able to go all the way in this event.
Yeah, exactly. I think especially given the Drogheda game that we watched earlier with Owen Mulligan versus Connor Dooley, a newcomer taking down one of the prestigious players in this tournament. is amazing, you know, and I think that's going to breed a lot of a lot of positivity and hope into other people that are only playing in this tournament for the first time or found it difficult last year. So it's going to be an interesting second leg. Duffy is definitely not going to count himself out. If Connor Dooley as a newcomer could beat Owen Mulligan in his first game in E-League of Ireland, I'm sure that Duffy will feel confident from one goal behind.
Yeah, for sure. Time will tell. We have the guys getting their teams ready. But in the meantime, Eric, I mean, look, it's a time right now where we're seeing a lot of Irish cards kind of come through the system. Are there any potential cards that you see coming into the mix that may feature in certain squads? For example, you know, we've seen Adam Ida with some great performances recently. Do you see any cards like that potentially coming on your radar?
I hope so. I'm gonna bless myself because I really want to see. We obviously seen Kevin Kelleher there just gone at the weekend play a man of the match performance in the Carabao Cup final. I'd love to see a man of the match card for him. I'd like to see Adam Ida, who got the winner for Celtic at the weekend, in
Yeah.
Team of the Week. That'd be great too. Just because we need a few more cards to diversify the teams completely.
Yeah, we do indeed. But listen, the second game is live right now, and it is currently 4-3 on aggregate. Keelan Byrne here leading Sligo Rovers against Ryan Duffy for Finn Harps. And Eric, if we see it as an exciting game, this will be a fantastic day.
Yeah, exactly. I would imagine we're going to see just as many goals, if not more. We don't probably see any substitutions or anything or changes to the front line in the first few minutes, but at the moment we're just seeing Duffy try and build out from the back. And just for our viewers, just so you know, it's 4-3 to Sligo Rovers in leg one. So Finn Harps do find themselves a goal down. Duffy unlucky there with a cross. But maybe some nerves will get into this game now, Gary. Who knows? You know, both of these players have never reached the knockout stages of an E-League of Ireland, and a 3 points will definitely help them reach that goal a little bit more so.
For sure. I mean, look, in these group stages, you got to put in the best performances possible. And, you know, it's experience every single game you have. You know, you learn, you pick up tricks. And, you know, like you said previously, you're learning your opponents. I feel like that's a big part of it as well. Seeing their play style and how they work. And I think the two fixtures that we have, or the two legs, should I say, that we have here really benefits that logic.
Yeah, it really does, because obviously we know now if Duffy gets down that line, he's going to squeeze it into the far corner somehow. So now I'd imagine Keenan will be a lot more tight on that byline run that Duffy had been making, because it seems like a very, very easy way to score. It feels like it's almost given. The keeper just stands aside and says, "Here you go, there's a goal." So I would imagine, as he's just seen there, Keelan defends very well the byline because he's afraid now of Duffy getting in there and getting the easiest goal of his life.
Yeah, very, very good play down the line. But Keelan here clears it out and he's going for something of himself. Frimpong out wide. We talked about how good he's been performing today. And he has that line. Has to be Hernandez. Ronaldo on the ball. Can he find a player? Finds Bobby Charlton. Nearly gets the ball through. But big Roy Keane in the middle there again. Seals it out. And Duffy's defense looking great here.
Yeah, so far so good. He obviously finds himself one goal down, but it's looking positive so far. In the first 15 minutes, I think he has had a little bit more of a lively performance, but there's just so much more to go. It's really, really hard to tell. He just needs to try and get Haaland out of the game a little bit, Duffy, because this Haaland for Keelan has really proven himself a difficult player to play against.
Yeah. Haaland really, really one to watch here. And to be fair, it's hard not to watch him. The absolute size of him.
Yeah.
Keelan in the ball. Going to the middle here. De Bruyne. Best. Still looking for options. We see an absolute wall here for Duffy. And oh, Ronaldo wins it back for Keelan. Does he have the opportunity? Still out wide. Goes for the flip flap. Oh, what a save. Unbelievable stuff. Haaland keeps the ball in here. Big pressure by Keelan, but defended. Oh, just lost the ball there. Passing lane was cut out. And Haaland absolutely buries whoever that was. And I mean, that's what Haaland does.
Yeah, I'm very surprised when Ronaldo had the ball toward the back, toward the front post there. He could have just, done one of the lovely lofted crosses that I would have done, where it would have been Haaland versus Katie McCabe, and there's only one winner there. Um, so it's not something, as I said to you before the games had started, we're not going to see this ball in the air very much, especially in and around the opposition's box, because both of these fellas just like to get the ball on the ground, a little bit of liquid football, and try their best to make a 100% chance. And that's exactly what we're seeing once again here with Duffy coming forward, looking for a ball inside. There's nothing really on though. So he does have to go back to Una Battle, I think her name is.
Una Battle. Sorry, I didn't get that name the first time. Oh, Ferdinand gets a bit lucky there. And it's going to see a pause early on. Yeah,
Thank
look,
the
it's thank the heavens. It's been a very, very interesting game here. Ultra defensive, little hover over that, Eric. Is it time to pack up shot fields a bit early? Or maybe is this some other type of defensive tactic?
So the feed that we're getting right now is from Duffy, who was a goal down. So
Oh.
he is probably just looking around at the moment to see if there's anything that he could do to enhance his chances of obviously getting a goal. Something that I'm surprised at is not seeing either of these people switch where Haaland is. Because for me, I would personally be switching Haaland to whichever side, let's say a Finn Azaz is, or switching to where the Katie McCabe might be. Just whichever gives him the best chance of competing in the air, but also then on the floor.
Yeah, it's definitely, you need to have a bit of diversity. Duffy with the shot and it's saved again. Allison takes the ball out of the net. And, you know, I don't know if we've seen a lot of keepers bar Allison today. Would he be your number one in terms of goalkeepers to pick?
I do have him, but I'm not using him personally. I really like Czech for the pure fact he has a helmet. No, but he is actually he is a very good goalkeeper. He has plenty of play styles that kind of complement my gameplay. So long throws and stuff like that are something that I utilize quite often, and he does it very well. So his item is very good, to be fair. But Allison is a team of the year item on paper. He would have the better stats. So I think both of them are much of a muchness, to be honest.
Yeah, I think both options will somewhat be able to do the job. I know that Allison Cardiff came across him many a time, and he's absolutely insane. And same can be said for that Czech. Really, really good cards. Patelis out wide. Finds Hernandez. Roy Keane. Best to Haaland. Has he got a bit of space? Defense trying to clutch the ball and get it out, and they do so. Really well defended by Keelan there. I mean, the ball comes to Haaland's feet, and it's shoot on sight with him, isn't it?
Yeah, like he's a very good player, don't get me wrong, but it is difficult to turn with him. It's not something that he's completely known for. If you can run in a straight line or get the ball in the air, that's exactly where he's going to be best. But at the moment, both of these boys are using them with ball to feet, with back to goal, which is a little bit difficult in my opinion, just because, of course, he's not going to lose the ball, but if you want to turn and get a shot off, you're going to find somebody at the other end just waiting for you to take that shot. Yeah,
it's very, very kind of clunky in his movement to turn for sure. He's definitely running a straight line and shoot kind of guy. At least that's how I play with him. Hernandez out wide. Really good burst of pace here. Can get by the defense. Hernandez, could he go all the way? Players, no, he does it. He does it again. Oh my Lord. What have I just seen? That's gone through the keeper's legs. Wow.
He has something figured out. I can't even say anything about it because Keelan didn't kick off the ball there out of, I would imagine, frustration, because we've seen that twice now from Duffy. That's no mistake. That's no coincidence. That's pure and utter time on the pitch to learn things that others haven't learned yet. And we're seeing it time and time again now. That's crazy. Wow. I need to learn this.
What, man? He just taps it. It's a little P roller, but it finds the back of the net, Eric.
It really does. I'm a little bit astounded at what I'm watching. But you know what? Every goal counts the same. And if your opponent is going to allow you to get down the line in such devastating fashion like Duffy just did, well then chances are going to arise for him to do that. The only way you're going to stop it is if you just don't let him get down the line so easily.
Yeah. And I think, you're going to know this as much as anyone, but this year is definitely a year of, using the byline with the R1 dribbling. It's such a common tactic that we see around, and we can really see here that Duffy is making the most of it.
Yeah. Like, it's been a great performance from both teams here, of course. And Duffy does find himself. Finn Harps are now 3-3 in the second leg here against Sligo Rovers. So this is going to be a very nervy 45 minutes in the second half.
It's gonna be interesting. It's tied up as well. It's looking, similar to what we seen that game one. But both of these players have it in them to have those magic moments. We've seen Duffy and his byline opportunities, and we see Keelan as well with the left stick dribbling and what he can do up front. So it's really going to be who can make the most of their chances. Kevin De Bruyne tries to send it long. Ruben Diaz going to be there to clean up the gameplay here, and this is intense, Eric. I'm not gonna lie. I know game one was screaming and shouting, but this is
Yeah.
intense. I can only imagine the pressure these players are feeling right now.
Yeah, it's a strategic battle because it's so close as well. People they're very conscious of who's going forward and who to let forward. But here we go with a chance, a ball gifted to Keenan. He
Whoa.
was very lucky to get away unscathed there because that is a gift and a half. But here we have Theo Hernandez, who could be released over the top. I do see Haaland in the box. That's exactly what I'd be looking. Is it? It is. So I would have been looking for that straight away, but he did try and bring it further down the line to probably do one of them sneaky little shots again, but he wasn't allowed this time.
Ooh, and it just hits off the back of Haaland. Gets a bit of luck though. Best on the ball as Haaland on the overlap. Haaland on the ball. Best again, and it's defended really, really well. Kieran breaking the ball out. It's just so back and forth right now. It's really hard to call this game. I don't think either of these players are head and shoulders ahead of the other. I think both of them have put on a really good performance today.
Yeah, I think both of them, they're both at a very good standard, of course. You know, oh my God, we have a ball in the air and it's headed down to Kieran. Oh,
wow.
Oh, I really wanted that to go in.
Me too. Me too. I wanted to call her the woman of the match after we had Finn Azaz here in our first fixture. It would have been nice to add to the tally, but here's Haaland on the far side. Ronaldo with the player lock has the ball. Ronaldo in the box gives it to Frimpong, and Allison with an unbelievable save. He is going to be fuming, Eric. They didn't put that away.
Yeah, we're really seeing the two boys turn it on now. Both of the last sequences of play have been astounding. You know, they've worked near 100% chances. It just hasn't fell to the right person at both occasions. You wouldn't want Frimpong on one side and you wouldn't want Kieran on the other for the ball to fall to them specifically. But that was that. There's definitely another goal in this game. It's currently 4-4. One of these two, in my opinion, will take home the spoils, but I just don't know who yet.
Yeah. Did you see what I just seen as well, Eric, on the screen for the subs?
Is Robbie Keane coming on?
You bet your bottom dollar. Robbie Keane's coming on the pitch. Oh! Oh my Lord, just cleaned off the line there. Wow. Duffy got lucky. Keelan nearly got a goal there. But yes, Duffy has brought on Robbie Keane. And Eric, I know you scored with him, but could we see the same here?
I will probably shout. So apologies to viewers' ears if Robbie Keane does get a goal. But I'm in love with this format of getting to witness Irish people on the grand stage. R9 with some beautiful skills into George Best, who's put it wide. Now, that's a substitution if I've ever seen one, because he would be getting lifted from this pitch as quick as he could say his own name.
Wow. Another missed opportunity. I just don't know what to say. Like,
no, because it's a strange one, because in practice, these things don't happen. Now, is it down to user input? It's very possible, especially given it's a very high-intense game. You might not hold the left stick in the trajectory that you'd like the ball to go. Specifically, just purely down to nerves. So that is something that we could see in this game, to be honest.
wow. I mean, just moments in both games of clear 1v1s being missed is just, it's madness. It's absolutely madness here. Just goes to show anything can happen, and it's not over until the fat lady sings. But she might be singing in a couple of minutes. Keelan moving forward here with Sligo. De Bruyne trying to break down that midfield, and it's being held very, very tight right now by Duffy. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I think both players are aware right now, Eric, that one counter-attack could be the be-all and end-all.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of nerves there from Keelan. The ball just gone out of play with Haaland when he wasn't exactly under pressure. So these things, they happen, don't get me wrong, but within 20 minutes to go, gifting your opponent possession like that, it's just not something that you'd like to do, because, of course, now he's got it back, but if he does it again, you'd probably find himself in a more precarious position. I don't think either of these two want to split the spoils, but at the moment they're both just very afraid to go forward.
Yeah, they really are. It's a game back and forth here, and you can see the nerves hitting them as much as it's hitting myself even talking about the game. Bobby Charlton clears the ball out on the right hand side. Frimpong looking to break the ball out, finds Bobby, doesn't get it. That Ferdinand card, he's absolutely rock solid.
Yeah, he's a staple in my team for sure. He's just everywhere. You know what I mean? And he's very fast. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. Or sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him time and time again, to be honest. But we have Karchui coming down the line here, skipping by quite a few players. Lovely defending in the end. But we do see Duffy here. Still has the ball high enough up the pitch. Still, once again, looking to
Ooh.
get down that line. But computer says no, and Keelan has his own chance to get forward. But this Tio Hernandez has just turned it on because I've never seen somebody so fast in my life. I don't know how he's gotten back to defend there.
Yeah, he's absolutely lightning. Duffy going down the line as well here. You don't need to be Albert Einstein to figure out what he's trying to do. Has the ball, trying to give it to the middle, and really well defended by Keelan there. You know, we usually see him go on the outside, and for Keelan to react to the inside there, really, really impressive. Duffy here for Finn Harps again, push it forward. That Cartoy at the wing had success just a couple of minutes ago, and looking for it again. 83 minutes on the clock. We're talking about the deadline point of the game. One goal's all it takes. Robbie Keane!
Oh!
What a save! Eric, you nearly got your moment.
I just wanted to see the net, Russell. That was brilliant play, though. The dribbling from Duffy out on the wing was amazing. Um, I just thought I was going to see the net bang there for a second, but we do still have 4 minutes to go. Is it time for Keelan to get his own chance going forward? Nobody wants to split the points here. And R9 is on the ball, goes across the best, fakes the pass out to Frimpong and goes for the straight shot with R9, which is put out for a corner. 88 minutes. Can we see another Haaland rise? No, not today. He's gone short. Looking for somebody inside. There's nobody looking for the ball. 89th minute. We're ticking down the time. Could be the last opportunity that we're going to see in this game. Keenan just looking for anybody inside. He does find Diaz, who's miles up the pitch. De Bruyne into Haaland, who was offside, if you ask me.
Oh, that's going to be it.
That's going to be the game.
Wow. That is going to be that. It's all tied up here at Sligo Rovers and Finn Harps. 3-3 at full time. What a game again. Right down to the wire there. Unbelievable stuff, guys. Hope you enjoyed that game. We certainly did watching it. Eric.
Case of two games today. Obviously, we've seen Drogheda play earlier on against Cove Ramblers. We just seen Sligo Rovers versus Finn Harps. And we saw, within them two games, we saw 20 goals. So that is a stat and a half in itself. There was plenty to be talked about. There was plenty of hilarious moments, but also some very, very good performances in general.
Yeah, really, really good football. You know, even seen some, I know we mentioned the Irish cards in there. Great seeing Kieran in there. You know, we've seen Robbie Keane come off the bench, had that magic moment. I was off my seat screaming, Robbie Keane! And it didn't go in. I was raging. But, I mean, it just goes to show you, though, Duffy and Keelan both left it all out there for Finn Harps and Sligo Rovers, and they both represented their clubs very well.
Yeah, so just to emphasize as well, the two games that we watched on stream today were all in the same group, so Group B. So what we just watched is exactly what we're going to see once again. Owen Mulligan is now going to have to play against either Duffy and Keelan, and they're all going to play each other twice in this group. So, this is not an easy group for Owen. He now finds himself 0 points and a game down to Connor Dooley, who is then going to have to play against the likes of Keelan Hobb, who, again, a very good player that we just saw. And then, not only that, is going to have to play Duffy, who has his own tricks up his sleeve. So Owen Mulligan might find himself with a really difficult group.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about him being the one to watch for this whole tournament, but some of the talent in this group has been absolutely exceptional. I think every player has their own tricks and has their own abilities, and they really put them on display today, man. I mean, how many goals in total have we seen?
20.
We'll call it 20. We'll call it 20. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible to have that in one fixture day, in one group. I mean, it's just incredible. I got to ask you though, Eric. We talked about all the games and how fantastic they were. What was your one standout moment today that you were like, wow?
I think, to be honest, I think it was the goal that Connor Dooley scored to go 3-1 up. I just thought it was when he was stepping over with Mbappe into space and then shot it into the near post. I just thought that was a really, really composed goal that, to be honest, that was the turning point for me where I was like, this fella really knows what he's doing. That's not luck. That was a very calculated performance and calculated goal that he scored. And that kind of, to be honest, turned everything for me. That just made everything, in my opinion, look a bit different.
Yeah. It was a big moment in that game. For me, I think it has to be those Duffy shots. What was that? I think I need to do a bit of Googling and a bit of practice now after today's stream because I need to figure out what that was and make a video on it, I think, because that was absolutely exceptional. Those little kind of P rollers under the keeper's legs and stuff. I've
Yeah.
never seen that like that before.
Yeah, it was crazy. Neither have I. It's something I'm gonna have to watch out for now because I would imagine we're not the only ones watching the streams. You know, there could be other competitors within the same league, maybe even my group, that will be doing the same thing the next time I play them. But I think that's a great start to eLeague of Ireland 2024. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the other groups got on. And I'll be back again tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, are we having you back in here tomorrow? Are we?
Oh, you might get lucky. We'll see.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But Eric, listen, thank you so much for joining me today. Do you want to tell the people at home as well, if they don't know you, who you are, what you do, and where they can find you?
Yeah, so my name is Example. You can find me at example_FC everywhere, I'd imagine. Probably not LinkedIn. But I play FIFA, and today I'm casting FIFA, or FC, should we call it these days. And I'm in Group D, eLeague of Ireland. So if you see me on stream, you might hear me shout all the way from Dublin.
You might hear him shouting, especially if you see Robbie Keane on the pitch. Just get ready. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, listen, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today for the eLeague of Ireland, powered by Virgin Media. Hope you enjoyed today's fixtures. Until tomorrow, we'll see you guys then. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. Peace.